It's been a while since I made the last video. It might even be, when was it? January, something like that. It's now October. Is it January? I know it's been a long time. I just haven't really been feeling it, you know, making videos on photography. I don't know how people do it, making videos on cameras all the time, on gear all the time. Me, I just get fed up with it. So in the meantime, I just get on with what I've been doing. You know, my little street photography with my beautiful M6 that I got in January. And I thought, you know what, even though I find it tedious sometimes standing in front of the lens and just making videos, I thought I've got a lot of subscribers. You're probably wondering what happened to him? What happened to that brother when I see him again? So for you, I'm doing this for you. Anyway, there's various things I want to talk about today. I don't want it to be long, but looking at my little list down there, I'm going to start off talking about my experiences with my M6 Mark II that I've had since January. And it's been so good using this camera. It's been so good using it as a street photography, everyday carry camera. Yeah, watch this. Ying! I've got two double whammy M6 Mark II's everyday carry cameras. I have two different lenses on it and I carry them both at the same time. So they're both around my neck like this. And having them both around my neck at the same time is still lighter than using a 5D or a 6D or whatever. But I love these cameras so much. They work so well for the intended purpose of an everyday carry street camera that, yeah, I like to have a backup camera. So I've got two now. Look at this. Two-tone M6 Mark II. Is it focusing? Very pretty. And I know there's a silver 22 lens that I could get for this to complete the look, but I'm not going to do that right now. Not just yet, anyway. What I want to talk about with this is there is a flaw in the design of the M6 Mark II. It's not a fatal flaw, but it is a flaw, you know. And after 6 months of using it, I think I can really highlight it. And what that is, on the top here, you got your shutter dial. Well, I've set mine to the shutter. You can set it to the aperture, but mine's set to the shutter. Doesn't really matter. But this dial here, this wheel on the front, what happens is, because of the way it's designed, and then if you can see that, it's kind of at an angle, and the shutter button is sticking up. So what tends to happen is oils and grease off your finger goes into this little groove around the top. And then once that goes in to the top, it starts frigging up your camera, basically. You know, the camera starts spazzing out and doing strange things. And also, when it rains, the raindrops will land on the top. And at the back, I've noticed at the back, I don't know if you can see this, there's a little gap there, tiny little gap, and the water falls on here, runs down into that little gap. And then when that happens, the camera spazzes out. You know, you select a shutter speed and then it just jumps from different shutter speeds. It might start at 350 of a second and end up at 1/6 of a second. And then it might jump up to 500 for 4,000 for whatever. And just by tapping this, it will spaz all over the place. You can clear it with your blower. You get your blower once it's dried out and just put it under there and give it a good blast, couple of blasts, even in the top, and it tends to fix it. It's happened to me a couple of times with this one. It's happened with quite a few times with my black M6, and I've been able to clear it just by blowing. So if you've got one of these cameras and it's been spazzing out and you've kind of like think it's junk and flung it down, try your blower. Put it right in the groove. Get it in right in the groove, as close as you can. Or compressed air, or switch cleaner, WD-40. Don't use the wrong WD-40 because there's one that's oil-based, but the switch cleaner one, give that a blast in there, and that will fix it. That tends to fix it, or it has with mine. I've been acquiring quite a lot of books over the past few months. I mean, I think I've got about 5, 6 books this year, but over the last couple of months, weeks even, I've acquired 3 more. And it's really good to have your photography books for inspiration, you know, seeing how other photographers work. It can really inspire you and help to broaden your horizon. And this is one of the ones that I've got recently. I went to the Dennis Morris Music and Life exhibition, which was at the Photographers Gallery over in West End. And yeah, I got this book. You know, it's all about artists. There's a lot of reggae artists in it, although Dennis Morris wasn't just a reggae photographer, concert photographer, because he done rock as well. And he documented the Asian community, and it's all in this book, you know. And I love documentary photography, so when I got this, I was like, I was in Wonderland. And you can see I've got some tabs here. I'm going to try and show you some of my favorite images, or some of the best images that impacted me when I looked in this. And of course, the reggae world. Look at these covers. I don't know if you can see that. These are some of his covers that he's photographed. And this one in particular, there you can see that. It's kind of awkward to do that. This one of Gregory Isaac I remember really well, because I always used to see this in the record shop round where I live. And I always thought, you're gonna laugh when I tell you this. I always thought, I used to think, how comes his afro so nice and sharp? Not one piece of hair out of place. Not realizing he's wearing a beaver hat. You know, it's just the way his beaver's cocked backwards and it's the rim. I always thought it was an afro. Yeah, just me in it. Listen, let me just quickly flick through and see if I can show you some of these bad boy images from Dennis Morris. Oh, look at this one. That wasn't one I was going to show you, but look at this. That's proper old school documentary. Hopefully you can see this. I'm going to have to do a top down of it, maybe. But look at that. If you remember them days, you remember them days. And if you don't, wow, that's just like, don't see scenes like this again. Not sure, is East London? Probably East London. This is one of my favorite shots in the book. There you go, look at that. The Black House was a warren of rooms and cellars. You turn the corner and stumble into some secret meeting where you weren't supposed to be. One day I was walking around and I came across this boy. He was about 10 years old. The way he handled the gun, the way he held himself, you could feel he had a sense of purpose. A lot of kids have guns now, but back in 1969, he was just fooling around, so the image feels almost prophetic. This picture is taken from 1969. Where were you in 1969? Huh? I love that image. Let me see if I can find another one. And this is going to be yeah, look at this one. Now this image here, I love this image. This reminds me of how we came up, how I particularly came up. We used to just roam the streets wearing hand-me-down clothes. There was a lot of bomb sites, you know, that were still left from the war. And the bomb sites were like such a great place to, it was like such a great place to be, even though it looks like devastation and war-torn or whatever. You know, I suppose The young people now got they're online, innit? They got their apps, they got their phone. This was our app. This was what we would do. This is Sandringham Road, Dalston, Hackney, 1976. And this talks to me, this image. This could be me and my friends back in the day. Deep. You don't see scenes like this no more. I'm just going to flick through because I've got some other books that I want to show as well. Let's see if we can do this. And as a photographer, it's good to look at other people's work, you know, give you another perspective. But I'm just going to show you some of the stuff. This image of Bob Marley in the car. I just love this image. You know, we see Bob Marley as this big superstar on stage singing, you know, bringing governments together and stuff, bringing peoples together of the world. He's just sitting in the car, looking over over the back seat like a normal person. That's just deep. That's just deep, you know? So it's like, no matter how powerful we can become or can be seen or can be viewed, we're human. We're just people, really. Let me keep going. There's another one here. There's quite a few in this, but this one here. This for me, as a man who came up in a sound system in Brixton. Look at this. I know enough people have seen this picture before. King Tubby, you know, Jamaica, King Tubby. Did you know it was Dennis Morris's picture? I never knew. When I saw it, I was like, wow, I've seen this picture so many times, I never knew. It's Dennis Morris. King Tubby Studio in Kingston, Jamaica, 1976. The great King Tubby. You know, bad boy rhythms. Tubbies. Tubbies. Oh, you know? I just love this picture. And look at this, look at that. Look at that amp in the background. You don't have amps like that. Look how big it is. Look at all the knobs on it. That is just mad. That is just a mad picture. Deep. All right, let's slide on. On all these images, I mean, most of this section is about Jamaica and Kingston, and you know, got Sly and Robbie there. Don't know if you can see that. Dennis Brown, just on the street. Just imagine you bump into Dennis Brown on the street and he's smoking a cigarette. You have a light, brother? He's just there, you know. Oops. Don't want to drop it. So there's one more picture in this book that I want to show. Although it's full, it's just full of great. Look at this. Look at this picture. The gladiators, you know. If you're into your reggae, you will know who the gladiators are. You know. Well, what's with us with the dark glasses inside? Your man got a dark dance and he's got dark glasses on inside the dance, you know. Yeah. We won't talk about that. Right, where's the last picture that I wanted to show? Oh, this one. I love this one as well. Alfie and Donna. Love is all I bring. In a me khaki suit and thing. Yeah, I just love that picture. There's just something about it. They kind of look like, you know, puppets on a string. You know, like Thunderbirds. And look at the afro. You remember the afro? Remember when black women used to have afros? It's changed a lot. 4-stripe Adidas. I had the 4-stripe Adidas. We couldn't afford the 3-stripe Adidas. The 4-stripe Adidas was cheaper than the 3-stripe Adidas for some strange reason. So yeah, if you get a chance to get a copy of this book, it's a hefty book. Look how thick it is. It's hefty. Dennis Morris, Music and Life. Very, very good book. Very good for inspiration. The next one I got in the last, I got these all in the last month, I reckon, about next month. Look at this one. Greensleeves, the first 100 covers. If you know anything about reggae music in the UK, Greensleeves. Greensleeves was a record label, a very prominent record label. And if you was into music, if you was a sound man, chances are a great proportion of your stock your labels, your music, Greensleeves. So this book is covers, the designs, some of the artists, some of the photographers. I'm just going to flick through. Ooh, can you see? It's kind of, and of course this is like just memories for me. It's like history. You see these covers and it just brings you back to a certain place and time. But the fact that this all being, you know, put together in one place is great works, man. It's a great history. It's documenting the culture and the history and the time and the place, you know, which is gone now. You know, we've got youngsters coming up who probably won't know none of this. Let's go to one of my tabs because I wanted to show some images, just a couple. I knew this was going to take long. Look at this. Somebody illustrated this. They sat down and drew all of this. Isn't that deep? Isn't that powerful? You know? Sometimes as a photographer, I feel like I'm cheating, you know, as an artist when I see this kind of stuff where I know somebody sat down for hours and hours, you know, just to get this. Whereas I'm just like, I know there's more to it than that, but that's what I feel like an imposter sometimes when I see this kind of stuff. All right, what's the next one? I'm gonna flip through quickly. This one, UK Bubblers. Yeah, this was on the record sleeves, and you can see the sleeves down the side here. This illustration of a dance hall. That's a bad boy picture. Somebody drew it. Somebody sat down and drew this. You know, it says UK dancehall scene illustration used for Greensleeves and UK Bubblers 7 and 12-inch singles in various colours below, after initially being used circa 1982 in black and yellow without the Disco 45 text. Illustration by Tony McDermott. There you go, Tony McDermott. In my bad man. Let's go to the next one. Next tab. Let's show you a couple of these. Where it is. Oh, this one here. I love this. You can see the Greensleeves there in the corner. And the Roots Radix band at Channel 1 Studio in Kingston. Look at the vibe and the energy and the vibe and the laid backness. You know that's Jamaica, right? That's got to be Jamaica. Where everybody just cool off, man. Smoke a spliff and make cool and all that, take that. Right. And of course, the green sleeve with all the artists on it. Can you see that? It's kind of like difficult to see with the light. I'll have to do a top down on it. But yeah. Again, all these people I didn't know at the time were artists, were reggae artists. There's 24 artists on there. I didn't even know they were artists. I just thought it was just people. But that's history right there. And this is Hammersmith, and you can see the flyover and the sound system and the buses, and there's a couple policemen on there, and it goes all the way back over to Jamaica at the top. You can see the palm trees, and it's just a different vibe. Everyone's more laid back over here. Over this side, everyone's more up front and frantic and doing their thing. You got the red, gold, and green, and it's a great sleeve. It's classic, you know, iconic even. Oh, this book was by Alexander Newman. I didn't say, did I? Alexander Newman put this together, and it's the same person that put this one together. Yeah, although he calls himself Al Fingers on this one. This is the Clark's book. Clark's in Jamaica. Clark's is like a desert boot that you see the yardmen wear. They always wore a Clark's. We wore trainers. They wore Clark's, you know. And you can see on the front cover, it's a bit, there you go. Let me flick through a couple of these as well. So this is just basically documenting Clark's in Jamaica. and the style and the fashion, which we fashioned and patterned ourselves off here in the UK. Yeah, and if you can see that. Producer Henry Junjo Laws wearing desert boots with heavy duty pants lengths. See there? Can you see that? And this is Kingston, Jamaica, 1983. Let's get the next one. Look at this picture here. Look at this. Some bad boy shots in here, man, you know. Producer Bunny Striker Lee wearing desert boots in Dub Vendor Records shop. And that was in Clapham Junction in 2011. Man looked sharp though, innit? Man looked sharp. And that's the thing, you had to look sharp in those days. When we was coming up, you had to look, you couldn't have it, like you see how the youth's got the trousers hanging. We couldn't have that. We had to look a certain way. The fashion was important. And I suppose you could call the trousers hanging down as a fashion, but let's not go there. Okay. DJ Dr. Alimentado with musician Dirty Harry. Yeah. And they're wearing their desert Clark boots. It's all about Clarks. Yeah. We've got Gregory Isaacs on this side, busting his Clarks. Telling you, man. Oh, I love this one. Look at this one. You know who this is, right? You know who this is in his Clarks. Can you see? Can you see? Ninja Man! Ninja Man! He's always got that serious look on his face, Ninja Man, boy. You don't want to ramp with Ninja Man. Bad Man DJ. Yeah. Oh, I love this picture here as well. Just of the speaker box. Looks like it's made out of some old beaten up plywood. Look at it. But it's got character. And you know it sounded sweet when they dropped the bass on this. You know that. Proper things, man. Billy Boyle in them Clarks. Proper things. So yeah, just wanted to show you, as I say, we are the Jamaicans and we are crazy about one shoes, which is Clarks. One shoes, you know, that was a Jamaican said that. That's a quote that you got to say in patois. We are Jamaicans and we are crazy about one shoes. And one shoes we're crazy about, which is Clarks. Little John, the singer. So yeah, just 3 books, which, you know, I haven't properly analyzed all of them because it takes time. I just wanted to show you one or two of the images that kind of caught me, which is inspiring me and pushing me forward to do my art, you know, because I'm working on a book, or I'm finishing a book at the moment as we speak, but I'm also working out where to go next, and this is inspiring me as to where to go next, you know, because I do a lot of photography and dances in my time, in this time, you know, so I'm capturing the history and the culture of this time, you know, so maybe in a generation's time from now, people will be looking at some of my stuff and saying, you know, remember how it was back then, you know. And the thing about when you're inspired by books, you get inspired by books, you try not to copy them. You take the inspiration from it, and then you use that inspiration in your time to produce your images or to capture your images to tell your story. So it's good to have the inspiration, but I don't want to do a copy of these. I'm not trying to copy these, you know. I have my own fingerprint. Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to progress forwards. Anyway, I'm going to put up a little gallery of some of my dance pictures, just so that you can get a little flavor of what maybe is to come. just to end out this, I have an exhibition of printed works, which is entitled The X Factor. It's not really an exhibition, it's more of a display at a library in Clapham, which is, I've forgotten the address, I think it's 39 Clapham High Street. It's adjoining the Mary Seacole Centre, if you know that location. So go and check it out. It should be up for the whole of October. And it's 30 images, just my style of images, documenting Brixton, but it's more like a portrait thing. It's more on a portrait vibe. So yeah, if you're around, if you're able, if you're available, check it out. Clapham Library, normal library times. Check their website and I guess you can find out when and when and when. But it's all around a spiral. Clapham Library's got a spiral, what do you call it? Walkway that goes all the way from the top, all the way to the bottom, all the way to the ground, all the way to the basement. It's very neat the way they've designed it. So the pictures are all the way around the spiral. So if you do manage to get there, just remember that, because it might not be so obvious. Also, we have issue 21 of my zine. When did this come out? This came out in August, so I didn't show it to you the last time because last time was January. So issue 21, latest edition of my zine, Waiting to Cross Here. This one's entitled Uniformity, and it's documenting Brixton, looking at the constantness of Brixton, the uniformness of Brixton. Yeah, 60 pages. I'm going to do a little flick through. But this is available as well at Clapham. Yeah, so you can check that out. Also, because proceeds from the zine goes towards my publication of my book, which I've been talking about. So yeah, there's a little flick through. Can you see that? Documenting the changing face or the constantness of this area, this environment where I've been living since 1977. So if you'd like a copy of this, you can message me below, or you can go on my what do you call it, Instagram. I put all the details down there at MAEX here, or on my WordPress, which is jetblackinkWordpress.com. There's that. Okay, that's about it. That was heavy. Till next time, Zoom, we out.